What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you're representing. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime, and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. Let's go. Let's go. George, Brandon B. What's up, Brandon B? Who is that? Is that Terrio K? Terrio K. Terrio K. Terrio K. Taylor Nubia. David, what's up? David, y'all welcome the newest member to the Willie D Live channel. David, show him some love. Dave said, I'm not just a subscriber, I am a member. If you want to join the channel, fam, want to be an official member of the channel, there's a link right under the video for you to join. Let's see, we got Moses Salas, Angel Heaven. This is going to be a spirited discussion, fam, because I got a take on this thing now. You know, I'm looking beneath the surface on this, you know, and I got some stuff I want to share with y'all and see if y'all, see if we're on the same page here, you know. T. Sanders, David Tomlin, what's up? DeAndre Durham. Shawnee Denise, I'm going in, fam. Going in. Let me put up a pick of my subjects. Let me just put up Kamala first. That woman right there is Kamala Harris. She is the Democratic nominee for president. There's been much speculation and anticipation about who she was going to choose for her VP running mate. And she has put all rumors to bed. And well, with her recent announcement of her pick. And that's this guy right here. This guy right here is Tim Walz. Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota. There's some things that you need to know about Tim Walz, but let's get to the crust of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the crust of this pick and what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about, fam, is why Kamala chose Tim in the first place. So, Tim, as I mentioned, is the governor of Minnesota. Tim was stomping hard for Kamala when Biden dropped out and endorsed her. And, you know, you may have seen him like leading the charge, calling Donald Trump and J.D. Vance weird. And I can appreciate that. Any insults to Donald Trump or his surrogates are a good news, you know what I'm saying? It's a feel-good moment for me. Anytime, I don't care who you are, if you disparage Donald Trump, I feel that there's some good in you somewhere. Now, remember, fam, although this is not about Donald Trump's name is not in the title, the trolls will be in the chat because trolls are hoes and their only purpose on earth is to cause confusion. But let me warn you right now. Let me forewarn you. You got one time to be disrespectful, and I'm going to block you like your daddy did you. I don't mind somebody disagreeing with me, but disrespect will not be tolerated. Moving on. Tim Walz, as I mentioned, is the governor of Minnesota. He was elected in 2018 and re-elected in 2022. He's 60 years old. And he is considered a Democratic-leaning, well, actually, Minnesota is considered a Democratic-leaning swing state in the upcoming presidential election. This is why, one of the biggest reasons why I believe Kamala chose him. But that ain't the biggest reason. It's one of the biggest reasons why she chose him as a running mate. Tim could help Kamala secure some much needed electoral college votes if they win his state. Dude is very popular in the Midwest, so he could also help in battleground states such as Wisconsin. As governor, Tim Walz established ironclad reproductive freedom. Now we get to the good part. Secured protections for transgender people, banned conversion therapy, and ended book bans based on ideology. And he got free school lunches for every kid in the state. That's a good thing. Now, you know, some of the stuff you can consider to be political and, you know, all of that stuff. But, man, you can't be mad at a person that can feed the kids. Because I was a free lunch kid. So for that, Tim Walz gets I ain't got no problem with them free lunches, man. I ain't got no problem. If it wasn't for free lunch, a lot of kids wouldn't eat. That's true. That's true. But that ain't what I want to talk about, fam. Let's talk about this DEI. You know, there's been much talk about DEI. What does DEI stand for? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Typically, when you think of DEI, the way the media has used the propaganda machine, they have brainwashed the country to think that DEI is only for people of color or people who are not white, right? But there are a whole lot of white folks who have positions, who get money, who have careers, who have taken advantage of the DEI philosophy. Tim Walz is one of them. Now, I'm not saying that in this case, this is necessarily a bad thing. Kamala had to pick a white dude, not just a white person. She had to pick a white dude as a running mate. That's why when you look at all of the guys who she was seriously considering picking, all of them were white. Now, why did she do that? Come on, fam. Y'all with me? I know you're with me. Why would she do that? To give herself a real good chance of winning. She would do it for the same reason Joe Biden picked her as a running mate in 2020. Black woman. I'm not saying she didn't have the credentials. She had the credentials. But she was a black woman to send him over the top. Let me pick this black woman and I'm going to get X amount of people that's going to automatically vote because they're going to feel more comfortable with me having her as a pick as opposed to anybody else. Anybody else, I'm rolling the dice. But if I pick her, they already told me, man, they coming in, they're going to get me. They're going to vote for me. So that's why Kamala was picked. In fact, the Democrats told Joe Biden straight up, pick Kamala Harris as your running mate, pick a black woman as your running mate, and we'll put you in the White House. And that's what happened. Family, I'm not here to debate whether Kamala Harris is black or not. Y'all kill it, man. Kill it. Let it go. She's going to be black, no matter what y'all say. She's going to be black for the sake of argument in America. She's going to be black. You want to call her some Indian? Call her Indian. It's cool with me. I ain't tripping. Because I can tell you right now, fam, everybody got something in them in this country. If you black in this country, you got something else in you. Ain't nobody got just black in them in this country, including me. There was a whole lot of illegal things going on in this country that forced people to be of different hues. You dig what I'm saying, fam? So I ain't finna get in that with y'all, man. At the end of the day, she black, she Indian, she black, she white, she whatever. At the end of the day, she looked black sometimes. She needed a white, that particular woman who y'all say ain't black, who some of y'all say is black, whatever the hell she is, she needed a white running mate, a white male running mate. That's what she needed. She needed a white male running mate because for the same reason why Barack Obama needed a white male running mate, because this country is still very much not colorblind, very much comfortable having a white guy in close proximity of power. Barack picked then Joe Biden, because Joe Biden, I think Joe Biden was the senator at the time. He picked Joe Biden because that was white folks was like, okay, well, maybe we got a white guy in there. The black guy won't come in and take over and turn us into slaves. Plus, Joe Biden, he tough on crime, and that'll keep, that'll keep the blacks in line. I want to pick a black person, but I need some assurance. I need some insurance. He got a white guy. Oh, Joe Biden. Oh, Joe Biden got a pretty good, decent record on going hard on the blacks. Okay. I may trust him. I may be able to trust him. Come on, Joe. Everybody forgot all about that crime bill. In any event, she picked Tim Walz for the same reason. America needs a white man in close proximity of power to feel comfortable. And when I say America, I mean American whites, for the most part. For the most part. I know some of y'all don't like that candidness. Y'all don't like that honesty. Y'all don't like that truthfulness. But that's what it is. Can anybody call me a liar? I know you don't like what I'm saying, but can you say I'm lying? I doubt it. I doubt it. You don't like what I'm saying? Prove that I'm lying. Give me an argument that proves that I'm lying. So this dude is a DEI hire. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We got to get somebody diverse. I'm not, as much as I might want to pick another female, can you imagine 2 females? If she would have picked a female, what would have happened? Oh, man. That wasn't going to happen. That wouldn't have been, man. It was been 2 females? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. A black man and a black woman running? Oh, hell no. Hell no, no. A Hispanic? Hell no. No. Hell no. Asian person? No. 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 White dude? Hmm. White people get breaks all the time. They always talking about this DEI stuff only relating to people of color, but white people get DEI all the time. You know, all the time. Even when the deck is stacked. Go look at football and basketball. How many white guys get picked over black guys who are better than them? You can see it in sports. It's very, very clear in sports. It's very clear in sports. It's very clear in corporate America. It's very clear in corporate America. When you go look at corporate America, you see the deck stacked. But it's reversed. When you look at it, corporate America, you see what 70, 80% of corporate America is white. That diversity, equity, inclusion is for them. You know, I'm probably going a little too deep for y'all on this one right here. But that's what they consider to be their diversity, equity, and inclusion. Having more white people in position of power. I'm gonna tell you something, fam. I'm not really mad at DEI. I'm not really mad at that because you need that in order. Let's just say basketball, right? You need to put a couple of white dudes in there on the team so that you can get the white racist money. You need to do that so you can get the white racist eyeballs. You need that. You need to put a couple of them in there to get their money. This is just the way people have implicit biases, right? Let me explain something. Everybody in the world have implicit bias. We're all hardwired to have implicit biases. It's just that when you have an implicit bias and you are in a position of power to harm other people, that's when it becomes a major problem. For example, like if you're in law enforcement or you're a prosecutor or you are a judge, these type of decisions can harm people. It can affect people's lives in a very, very negative way. It can destroy people when you bring your implicit biases to the job in those type of settings. But I ain't mad at a football team that say, yo, we need a couple white guys on this team. You know, they got to be good now. They got to be good, but you know, they might not be as good as these couple of dudes right here that are black, but they good enough for us to be able to compete and play hard. You see diversity, equity, and inclusion in a lot of these quarterbacks that they hire in the NFL. Tell me I'm lying. You see that all the time. And I'm talking about white boys playing quarterback who really ain't that good. But you see coaches. When a black coach gets hired in the pros, he's expected to win from day one. He's expected to win a championship his first year. And if he don't, he may not get a chance to coach again. He got to turn the team around immediately. He don't get to rebuild. His first year, he got to win. He got at the very least, that second year, they got to be in the black. By the second year, they got to be over 500. Ain't no under 500 for 2-3 years, 4 years or 5 years, like the Houston Texans. We had a coach that was here. I forgot his name. He was sorry, but I think he was here like 10 years or something, man. He only had like one or two winning seasons. Ain't no way possible they would allow a black coach to have that type of action. That's diversity, equity, inclusion. So that's what Kamala did with her VP pick. She made a DEI hire. That's what she did. She got herself a DEI hire as the VP. That's facts, baby. She got herself a DEI hire because there's a whole lot of other people who have strong credentials that she could have went and got somebody that she could have probably had a whole lot more in common with. But she knew this is white ass, racist ass America. Let's keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This white ass, racist ass America. And they ain't gonna be satisfied unless you have a white dude in close proximity of that White House. You gotta have a white dude in there, at least for now. I don't know how many more years it's gonna have to be like that. But for now, you're gonna have a white dude, and the white dude gets to get in just strictly off his color. The same way Donald Trump got in, as Donald Trump was a DEI hire. He got in because Barack got in. If Barack wouldn't have became president, Donald Trump would have never became president. Donald Trump was the antithesis of Barack Obama. It was like, yo, the black guy in the White House, that don't make sense. We're doomed. Our lives are over. No more white power. We got to do something about this. We need a guy who's going to go in for us and just shake things up and get the country back. And here come Donald Trump. I'll do it. You're going to make me president? You're going to make me king? I'll do it. So Donald Trump went on out there and he played the role. But Donald Trump plays both sides of the fence. You know, he cool with the blacks. He try to act like he cool with black folks. But at the same time, he's cool with the white supremacists and the Proud Boys and the neo-Nazis and just the overt racist. He will not denounce them. You remember when they kept trying to get him to denounce the Klan when he was the president, and the Klan was like, you know, that's our man. Donald Trump is our man, and Donald Trump just would not denounce him. I don't know if he had sense, but I know that they could not get him to just flat out denounce the Klan. They could not get him to do it. I think he may have finally like denounced them, but it took him a while to do it. Donald Trump was a DEI hire. White folks went out and voted for Donald Trump, who was one of the biggest dummies in the entire world. I don't know a dignitary that's dumber than him, that's more uncouth than he is. Very uncouth, very slow up top. One might say trailer trash. Don't know another dignitary that's that slow. I mean, across the world, across the globe. But they needed him because he represented the past. He represented the good old days for them. What's the good old days? Doing whatever they want to do to anybody they wanted to do it to, especially non-whites. Being able to hang folks, shoot people, rob, steal, kill, rape, pillage, whatever they wanted to do and get away with it. That's the good old days. That's what when they say make America great again, that's what they mean. Because America ain't never been great for black folks. It don't matter if the Democrats were in office or the Republicans were in office. Every single atrocity that has ever happened to black folks has happened on one of the other's watch. So you can talk that Democratic started the Klan all you want, but the Republicans kept running with the Klan. You could say that the Democrats freed the slaves, but you could say that the Republicans trying to enslave the people again. Every single atrocity that has ever happened to black people have happened on the Democrats or the Republicans' watch. So if the Democrats were in power and bad things were happening to black folks, why didn't the Republicans step up and say, hey, man, that ain't right. We're going to fight to the death. That ain't right. We boycotting, we shutting y'all down. Why didn't they do it? When the Republicans were in power and bad things were happening to black folks, why didn't the Democrats step up and say, we don't give a damn, we're going to shut this down, man. We're going to burn it down. We're going to fight. We're going to do whatever we got to do. And you're going to treat these people right. Why didn't they do it? You know what they both do? Well, it's going to take some time. But when they want something to happen, man, they go into that room, man, sign them papers, come out with a deal the next day. But when black folks want some relief, it's going to take time. I ain't trying to hear none of that. So when y'all get on here, man, talking this Democrat this, the Republican this, the Democrat, man, they all in the same game. I said it a few years ago. I was on some podcast and the dude got mad at me because I was like, yo, this whole presidential thing ain't nothing but a popularity contest. They got a couple of initiatives that the people that's really in power allow them to push. But after that, everything got to go as planned. America has an agenda. And that agenda must be upheld no matter who is in office. And if it's not upheld, then you're going to see whoever that is, commander-in-chief, they're going to give them the blues. And I mean the real blues. I'm talking about that slow singing, six people walking, walking slow. I'm talking about that type of blues. They're going to get it. They're going to give them the business. So Kamala Harris had to pick a guy like Tim Walz. She had to pick somebody like that. She had to pick a white dude. She had to pick a white dude. That's a DEI hire. Donald Trump is a DEI hire. The only reason he got in office, the only reason he was able to get in office, because he was a white guy talking that anti-black and anti-everybody else stuff. He was a white guy that reassured white folks that we still got this. We still got it. That's the only reason why he was voted in. And really, he didn't really get voted in. Remember, I don't hear too many people talking about it, but remember, Donald Trump cheated in the election. You know, the Republicans meddled in the U.S. elections. Remember that? Nobody talks about it, including the media, mainstream media, definitely never mentions it. But the Russians interfered with the elections in 2016. They forget about that. They don't talk about that. So even with the cheat, even with all of the people that did really go vote for him, they still cheated. And it makes sense because I just refuse to believe it was that many backwoods Americans that live in this country. I know it's a bunch of racists that live here. I know it's a bunch of dummies that live here. I know it's a bunch of slow pokes that live in America. But I refuse that it was more slow to believe that it was more slow pokes, more unethical people, more uncivilized people than not. I just refuse to believe that. And it makes sense. They did all of that, but on top of that, they still had to cheat. Just like they tried to cheat in the 2020 elections. Remember voter suppression? They were shutting down mailboxes. You know, they was finding people's ballots and stuff all in the trash can. they were trying to implement all kinds of different strategies to suppress the vote. They so confident that Trump is the guy, he the man. What y'all cheating for? And they were trying to, they was giving him passes, giving him excuses for cheating. Now, I will say this. I can't blame him for cheating. If the Democrats ain't gonna do nothing about it, why play fair? I can't blame him. But that sucker wouldn't be able to cheat on me. He wouldn't be able to cheat on me and get away with it. I'm gonna go hard for mine. Now y'all get ready for this now, fam. This dude, Tim Walz. Let's take a look at Tim Walz right quick. This is Kamala Harris's VP pick. This is her running mate. Let's take a look at some things that you need to know about Tim Walz, who is the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. Well, the presumptive Democratic vice president nominee. How about that? Okay, so this dude was a teacher who turned congressman, born in Nebraska. He was enlisted in the Army National Guard after graduating high school. He graduated from Nebraska's Chadron State College with a social science degree in 1989. He spent the year teaching abroad before returning home to serve in the Army National Guard. He later took a high school teaching and coaching position. After meeting his future wife, Gwen, he moved to Mankato, never heard of that, Mankato, Minnesota, where both taught at a high school. He advised Mankato West High School's first Gay Straight Alliance Club. Did y'all hear that? He has 2 children, Hope and Gus. A year after retiring from the National Guard in 2005, Walz won his race for the U.S. House of Representatives. He was reelected 5 times. He was elected as Minnesota's governor in 2018 and won re-election in 2022. He's popular with far left House Democrats. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi may be rooting for Tim because, Tim has shown love to her. Nancy said she is always especially fond of former House colleagues when asked about Harris's choice for a running mate. A source familiar with the matter told The Hill. Okay, so he has a radical abortion stance. In January 2023, Tim Walz signed into law Minnesota legislation that includes no limitations on when a woman may end life of her unborn baby. Damn. She can end it anytime, long as the unborn, no limitations. Let's see. What else here? Let's see. Walz says to his Minnesotans, know that your access to reproductive health and your right to make your own health care decisions are preserved and protected. The legislation reads, every individual has a fundamental right to make autonomous decisions about the individual's own reproductive health, including the fundamental right to use or refuse reproductive health care. Reproductive health care is a euphemism for abortion. He supports gender affirming care for kids. This is where the Republicans are probably going to try to pounce on them at. Tim Walz issued an executive order ensuring that Minnesota children may obtain irreversible transgender surgeries and sterilizing hormone treatments, which proponents call gender affirming care. The measures made Minnesota a trans refuge, supporters said. While signing his executive order, Tim held the hand of a 12-year-old boy who said he identified as a transgender girl. Tim Walz's executive order prevents other states from taking child protection action against parents who help their children transition to a boy or a girl. According to the order, a parent in another state may not take custody action against a parent in Minnesota who is transitioning a child. Tim said, we want every Minnesotan to grow up feeling safe, valued, protected, and celebrated, and free to exist as the authentic versions of themselves. Protecting and supporting access to gender-affirming health care is essential to being a welcoming and supportive state. I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all. Personally, I think it's something wrong with people that think like that. Yeah, I personally think it's something wrong with a person who thinks like that, who look at a little child and a child say, I think I identify as a boy, I think I identify as a girl, and then go in and get a surgery on a little kid. Like I think something wrong with that. I think somebody who thinks like that is mentally ill. Now, that's not to say that there's not some mental illness on the other side, because Donald Trump is definitely mentally ill. Donald Trump is mentally ill and J.D. Vance is mentally ill, because those dudes, first of all, J.D. Vance, that dude, that flip-flop like hotcakes. That dude don't give a damn. He talked about Trump like a dog, and Trump picked him for VP. I don't know who stroked the check. Somebody had to stroke a big check, because it didn't even make sense for dude to pick that. I'm surprised that he would pick somebody who would talk about him like that. Trump usually get rid of people like that. It's something deeper, though. It's something deeper about their relationship. Could they be bosom buddies? I mean, could there be something going? Is there a bromance? Is there something going on behind the scenes we don't know about? What's going on? I mean, do they swim in the hot pool together? What's going on? But you know, fam, there's a lot of mental illness in Congress. A lot of politicians suffer from mental illness. So you know that their constituents suffer from mental illness because they put them in office. They put a mentally ill person in office. They consistently vote for people who are weirdos. But make no mistake, fam, there's no bigger weirdo than Donald Trump. That's right, I said it. I know y'all in the chat. I know you Trump lovers are in the chat. I said it. There's no bigger weirdo than your leader, your God, Donald Trump. He is a super weirdo. And as much as I don't like this guy, Tim Walz's position on gender affirmation, I subscribe to the philosophy of anybody but Trump. Anybody but Trump. I'll vote for a bow-legged penguin before I vote for that sucker. Anybody but Trump. And I mean anybody. I mean anybody. I'll vote for Jason before I vote for Trump. Winnie the Pooh. Got me a troll. Got him. Got him. Get out of here, sucker. Now, why do we ban trolls on this channel? Because trolls are hoes. You ain't finna use my platform to cause confusion. You ain't got something tactful to say, get on up out of here. Got another one. Did I get another one? Got him. Yeah. Anybody but Trump. I'll vote for Dr. Seuss before I vote for Donald Trump. I'll vote for Ned the Wino before I vote for Donald Trump. I'll vote for Pocahontas before I vote for Donald Trump. I'll vote for Casper the Friendly Ghost before I vote for Donald Trump. I'll vote for the Jack in the Box mascot before I vote for Donald Trump. What's that dude, the Colonel? Kentucky Fried Chicken dude? I'll vote for the Kentucky Fried Chicken dude before I vote for that sucker. Them Trump supporters be trying to bully you into voting for him, and they try to bully you into liking him. Try to bully you. I don't know who the hell they come from. I don't know what they thought. Maybe they just jumped on YouTube and saw me and thought I was just a regular YouTuber type of dude. You know, maybe they didn't know my history. You know, so I want to say maybe give them a little grace, but maybe you need to look up when you go to look at watching these people on YouTube and stuff. Maybe you need to look up who you watch it, look up a little history on them, and you will see I don't give a damn, and you can't shake me. You can't shake me. And all them threats and talking about looking for somebody, yeah, you mess around and get looked for coming around here. All that tough talking and all that stuff y'all be doing, that don't do nothing but that motivate me. Trying to act tough, trying to scare somebody. Dude walked up to me a few years back, white dude. I'm on Facebook, and he said something disrespectful to me. So I looked him up, and I saw that he had a daughter, a small daughter. And I saw him hanging out with his friends and stuff. So I was like, yeah, don't check me, check your daughter. Because she don't look like you, she look like your homeboy. And he was like, so he get mad and type a little something back. And I also had some other information on his daddy, and I called him out on it. I think his daddy was like, his daddy had cancer, and his daddy had cancer, and his daddy died. And I said, yeah, it's such a shame that it took that long for your daddy to die, for cancer to do his job. It should have got him before he procreated with your uncivilized. See, that's how you got to get at them, fam, because that's how they try to get at you. You know, like you got to hit below the belt. You got to hit them all. You got to hit them everywhere, including under their feet, because they don't respect nothing else. They don't respect nothing civilized. They don't have any respect whatsoever. And then when you go there, people go like, "Ooh, man, that was deep. Oh, you shouldn't have said that." Man, anything goes when you come for me. When somebody come for you, fam, and you minding your own business, you ain't messing with nobody, you minding your own business, they coming over to you, messing with you, man, you don't get to start the fight and then play the victim. You put your hands on somebody, you get up in somebody's mix and start messing with somebody, man, you get everything you deserve. Leave people alone. I ain't know that sucker from a can of paint. He came to my platform talking slick. So yeah, anyway, fam, I see the dude at this restaurant, and he walks up to me and he say, "Hey, yeah, Willie D." I say, "Yeah, what's up?" He say, anytime strangers come, get up on me, man, I'm watching them. And I had it on me too. So I'm watching, I'm ready. I'm like, and I'm watching every little move he make. And he goes, "You remember me?" And I say, "No." He said, "I don't think so." He said, "Yeah, I'm the one on Facebook. You told me my daughter was ugly." I say, "Yeah, that sounds like something I would have said if you was disrespectful." "Oh, well, yeah, it's over, man. It's no problem. Da da da." So, yeah, I know it ain't no problem, because it can be a problem. Come messing with me, man. I'm minding my own business. You come messing with me, man. Everybody that know me know I don't mess with people. Everybody know me know that. They know I don't mess with nobody unless they mess with me or my people. That's it. I'm straight. I don't mess with nobody. But I'm the last person on this planet that's going to be bullied by anybody. I don't care how much power, this so-called power they have. I don't care what kind of position they're supposed to have, how many hitters they got and all that kind of stuff, man. Yeah, I ain't tripping on none of that. What's up, Lovely K? Love Big 41. Angela Datnack. Lovely K. But y'all be, he said, Kamala's anti-black, she's anti-American. Lovely K, you don't like Kamala, huh? Hey, yeah, but her opponent is anti-American. Opponent is definitely Trump is anti-American. You know why I say he's anti-American? He can fool you by talking all that America stuff and make America great and stuff and the flag and all that kind of stuff. That ain't nothing but a roost to rock you to sleep. Donald Trump is anti-American because Donald Trump is a divider and conqueror. A house divided cannot stand. Anybody that's out there spewing rhetoric to divide Americans is anti-American. Anybody who's out there spewing rhetoric to divide America, who is already a fractured country. It's already fractured. So anybody out there spewing rhetoric to further divide Americans are anti-American. And Donald Trump is anti-American. Believe that. It doesn't matter what he says. In fact, it does kind of matter what he says, because he says a lot of anti-American stuff. You just got to listen for it. When he starts talking about the police over here and citizens over here, he starts talking about giving police officers immunity to basically to run amok and do whatever they want to citizens without impunity. That's anti-American. When he starts talking about not the police not being held accountable and presidents not being held accountable for crimes, that's anti-American. When he starts talking about the blacks this or whatever, he ain't gonna say it just like that, but he do dog whistle. He do a lot of dog whistling. That's anti-American. If you ain't for us, you against us. That's anti-American. If your language doesn't reflect people in this country coming together, trying to come together and trying to live in a harmonious society, that's anti-American. A lot of people say Tim Walz is a good guy because he's sympathetic towards pretty much everybody, right? He's very far left, super duper liberal. Personally, I'd like to see moderates. I don't like people that's too conservative or too liberal. You know, I'm more like a moderate, you know, but I'm independent. I'm an independent moderate. You know what I mean? That's a new phrase. Let me coin that right quick. Okay. Yeah. Too far left, too far right. There needs to be some balance. Because here's the thing. People that are too far left are radical. People that are too far right are radical. And in my opinion, neither can really be trusted. That's right. Neither can really be trusted, because if all of your policies are all the way to the left or all the way to the right, that means that you hiding something. That means that you're doing some things that are something that is inconsistent with what you say your platform is. You see it all the time, man. Just like you have these Republicans who say that they are Republicans who say that they're anti-LGBTQ and all that stuff. They'll say they're anti-gay and all that, and then next thing you know, you find out they was in a homosexual relationship. Happens all the time. The conservatives platform is to one of their platforms is to be anti-gay, right? But do you really think that all conservatives are straight? I would dare say that probably close to half of conservatives are homosexuals. They gay too. but they can't say it out loud because that goes against the platform. They got a lot of liberals who are, you know, they're anti, you know, welfare. I'm talking about extreme welfare, you know, where like we're just gonna take care of somebody. They're not with that, but they gotta rock with it because that's the platform. Certain initiatives on each side, there's certain hard initiatives that you got to stick with, like abortion. Republicans have to stick with abortion. They got to say they're anti-abortion, even though they go out and have abortions. You think ain't no conservatives out there having abortions? But when they go and they speak in public, they got to say that they're anti-abortion. But they over there secretly getting abortions. You got Democrats and Republicans who really don't rock with Israel, but they got to say it out loud that they do. They got to act like they care about Israel because of the deal they got with Israel. So it don't matter what side you on when it comes to, that's the one thing that both of them, they got to eat on. They got to agree on that no matter what. They don't, if you think about it, they don't agree. There is no other policies out there. There is no other policies out there where you have a unanimous bipartisan agreement on. No other policy but Israel. They got to say they support Israel. Any politician that's running for president or that is president, becomes president of the United States, you got to be on Israel's side. Israel can't do no wrong. It don't matter what happened. Israel can't do no wrong. They got to rock with Israel. The history of U.S. support for Israel runs deep, fam. That's all I can tell you. I mean, it's deep. Fam, let me tell you something, man. Make no mistake. Well, let me just put it like this. I don't think that America supports Israel because it really cares about Israel. Like, even when Israel is wrong, America supports Israel. You never hear America talking bad about Israel. You know, like, we don't want a fascist extremist here, but we support one there. We're against Russia, even though they're doing the same thing Israel is doing. But we're against Russia. Make it make sense, fam. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. Why can't the U.S. just stay out of issues in the Middle East? Why they can't just stay out of it? For those of you who have just joined, we are talking about Kamala Harris's pick for VP, and that is Tim Walz. Tim Walz is an educator turned congressman turned governor. He's now the VP nominee for the Democratic Party. We were talking about Israel and why America is so steadfast with its support of Israel. Why do the U.S. believe supporting Israel is in its interest? I think a big part of, why America continues to support Israel, that's just on a superficial level without me being one of the guys on the inside who's calling the shots, just from what I see. It's beneficial for the United States to have an ally and a foothold in the Middle East, which is otherwise largely hostile to U.S. interest. So when you think about providing military and economic support to Israel, it strengthens that alliance, thereby giving the U.S. more power in the Middle East and a better strategic position against countries like Iran, which are supported by our enemies, our so-called enemies, China and Russia. So in short, I think that's the reason, but there's other reasons also, because they just be riding Israel's tip too hard. Like, because the U.S. have other countries in the Middle East that they have that are allies, but no other country consistently is on the world stage in need of support and experiences unrest like Israel. You can cloak it in any kind of morality or immorality all you want, but at the end of the day, it's all about pragmatic political strategy. You know what I'm saying? So somebody said it's for biblical reasons. No, it's not. America ain't biblical. America don't give a damn about the Bible, man. America took the Bible out the schools. America is not biblical. I don't know where you got that from. Walk by faith, not by sight, says, how can you vote for a man who cheated on his pregnant wife with a porn star? Make that make sense. Where's the loyalty? If you cannot be loyal to your pregnant wife, then you won't be loyal to America. Cool Papa Cash. What's up, JMK? What's up, Mike Brown? Miss Jones. Roland Curtis says, no, the Democrats took the Bibles out of the schools. So the Democrats took the Bibles out of the schools, right? Where was the Republicans when the Democrats was taking the Bibles out of the schools? Where were they? Answer that, Roland. They were right there helping them take the Bibles out of the schools. Man, we got to stop falling for the okie doke, man. These people are in it together. They're in cahoots. Yeah, there are some fundamental differences between both parties, but man, every time one gets down on certain things, moves are going to be made. And when those moves are made, those moves are going to be upheld by both sides. They both got to get down with it or it's going to be some problems. Somebody going to choke on a chicken bone. Somebody going to slip on a banana. Somebody going to have a heart attack. Somebody going to just stop breathing. Somebody going to drown in 3 feet of water. Got to stop this, man. Stop, man. Roland, riddle me this. If the Democrats took the Bibles out of the schools, why didn't the Republicans just put the Bibles back in the schools when they got in office? See, any law that's written that you don't like, any law that's written that you're not with or whatever, when the other party gets in office and gets control, when they get control of the Senate or control of the House or both, why don't they just make it a big point to push and reverse the law? Because both parties are in on the jig. They're in on the hustle. Man, these deals get cut. When these deals get cut, when these laws get written, these laws are written with Republicans and Democrats in the same room. If Abraham Lincoln was such a great guy, or the presidents before him was so great, why did they allow slavery to happen in the first place? Why? Both parties, Democrats and Republicans, both of them got blood on their hands. Both of them was padding their pockets. Universities, Yale, Harvard, Princeton, all benefited from slavery. J.P. Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, all benefited from slavery. You think it was just Democrats working at those banks? You think that was just Republicans working at those banks? All of them benefited, fam. They all got paid. The reasons why it's so hard to get reparations passed is because some of those people who are going to have to vote on reparations, they're still benefiting from free labor, from free slave labor. Their families, they have wealth that has been passed down for centuries. They're going to have to give some of that stuff up, and they know it. They're going to have to come to terms and say, yeah, you know, oh, my great-granddaddy, great-great-great-granddaddy ain't all what I thought he was. I'm going to have to expose my great-great-granddaddy. I'm going to have to tell the world that my great-great-granddaddy wasn't shit. What's up, Robert Clark? Jimmy Williams, Chicago 24. Family, these people are fighting. They're not fighting for you. These people are not fighting for peace. They're not fighting for love. They're not fighting for humanity. They're fighting for money and power. We got to stop getting caught up in these pretty words. Somebody saying what we want to hear. And I mean both sides. All of us on both sides, on all sides, need to stop getting caught up in these words and these word games that these politicians play. They're fighting for power and money for them, not you, for them and their friends, not their constituents, them and their friends. They're fighting for money and power. And you're the pawn. You're the conduit that is going to help them get there. If they were fighting for the people in this country with all the money that America have, with all of the so-called geniuses, the best of the best hustlers and thinkers and philosophers and scientists and archaeologists and chemists, and man, America would be such a great place to live if they was really fighting for the humanity. They were really fighting for the people. We wouldn't have all the crime that we have, because that money that they put up, all them tax dollars and stuff would be going towards human services. It would be going to human social services. When you have that money being invested in anti-drug programs, you know, and drug rehabilitation programs, and when you have that money being invested in parenting classes, money being invested in after-school programs, money being invested in My bad, fam. Hit the wrong button. But yeah, when you have money, when you have that money being invested in the people, you're putting money towards mental health. Like when we prioritize mental health, that's when you start seeing some real change. You won't have so many crazies running around here trying to rape women in broad daylight or at night or any other time. You won't have people running around sticking guns in people's faces, talking about give it up, give it up. You won't have people involved in road rage, fighting like animals in the streets, gunning each other down, fighting at supermarkets, trampling folks on Black Friday and all this type of stuff. You won't have all that. But the people, the elite, they don't care about none of that because they're at the top and they're looking down at that type of stuff. So they're removed from that type of energy. The other 329 29 million people plus, they're the ones got to deal with that type of stuff on a daily basis, including those who are rich, because rich people get killed all the time. People climb them walls, scale those fences all the time. People get jacked all the time. When they start imposing term limits, when they start getting rid of, starting the process, when they start the process of eliminating lobbyists, when they start the process of holding crooked politicians and lawyers and doctors and judges and members of law enforcement and prosecutors accountable, that's when you're going to have a harmonious society in America. That's when things are going to be better. And that ain't coming no time soon, because the most wicked are at the top of all of these industries. The most wicked are at the top of every single industry you can name. And this is why we hit the reset button every 2 to 4 years. Look, it's vote or die right now. In 2 years, we're going to be at the midterms. It's continue to vote or die. Then in 4 years, it's vote or die. Then 2 more years, it's let's keep it going, or we got to flip it. It's always really a 2-year reset. We always got to flip it. But we stay in a constant state of fear because you can never really relax. It's always vote or die. And even though the voting is every 2 years on a national level, even though it's every 2 years, you really don't have any time to decompress. You really don't have any time to let your mind relax and not really think about politics, not really think about the pressure. Not really think about being under attack. And then when you turn on CNN and then you hear Fox News, it's constant fear mongering. Constant. I stopped watching the news let's see, what year was that? I stopped watching the news in 2000. I think it was 16. I stopped watching the news in 2016 because I just realized, man, it's like all these people do is put fear on a loop. They just put fear on a loop and they just run it. And we're just sitting there programmed and in fear the entire time. Nothing but bureaucratic propaganda. Queen Jet Black, what's up? Marcus Messiah, can't you handle 12 inches? Helen Sidney, what's up? Tweety Kid. After the election is won, everybody kind of just dip back. They get ghosts. You don't see the presidents, no, you don't see the nominees anymore. They're not visiting your state. They don't come back and check on you. They ain't just making no just regular visit to just say hi, hello. They ain't talking about how much they care about your state until it's time for re-election, or until it's time to, do it all over again. Until it's time to endorse somebody else. Black Queen. Under God. What is that? Micro? That's not micro. Macro? Micro. Willie Goins. What's up? Aquarius Moon. All right, fam. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't like the title, but it is what it is. I'm calling a strike, and a ball, a ball. Kamala Harris has chosen her VP running mate, and that is DEI hire Tim Walz. I call him a DEI hire, and not necessarily a knock. It's not necessarily something negative, even though some people try to make DEI look like something negative. It's not necessarily something negative. She needs a white dude out of any other. She needs a white dude out of any other. That's the number one qualification. The number one qualification for her VP pick, which is what I said a long time ago. She needed to pick a white boy. She got to get a white dude to run with her to make white people feel safe. She had to pick a white dude. And now that she got that white dude, Donald Trump is even in more trouble because this guy, Tim Walz, is likable. Overall, people like him. I don't like his stance on gender affirmation, but people like him overall. They like him overall. And so actually they call it gender affirming care, but they like him overall. And he has a lot of allies in the Midwest, and he can help Kamala get some of those Midwestern states. So it's not really about who she picked. It's about who, it's really not about the person. It's really about who can help her win, who can help her secure the White House, who can help her. And so it doesn't matter, you know, how great the credentials are and all that, although the credentials do mean something. What's more important is who can help her get in. Same way with how it was with Barack, same way it was with Trump, same way it was with Biden, and even before them, all of those guys who picked their running mates, who picked their white guy, all those white guys who was running for president, who picked their white male running mates, they picked those guys. Those were DEI hires. They picked those guys because white people, for some reason, feel safer when a white man is in control. Sometimes it don't even matter what the character of the white guy is, as long as he's white. They feel relieved in some way. So this guy is a DEI hire. He is the VP choice for running mate for Kamala Harris. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But just in case you're just tuning in and you might be a little confused as to where I stand, let me look you right dead in your eyes and let you know. Anybody but Trump. No more talk.